Right, joining us to discuss this is Project Coordinator Kenneth Manyemula, who is on the line standing by. Very good morning to you, Kenneth. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, just listening to that trailer gives us insight on what we can expect from the language. The artists that you've got lined up really is a little highlight of what exactly this documentary contains. How did you come up with this idea?
The time on our first lockdown, that hard lockdown, that's when we decided as the creatives, what can we do to better ourselves, because it was hard. We couldn't be on stage anymore. That's when we came up with this idea of doing this docu-series. As friends in the industry, we managed to collaborate and make sure that we come up with this 13-episode documentary that is going to wow our fans, that is going to put our city on the map. You know, the aim is to make sure that we position Pretoria as the hub of the entertainment in Africa.
In putting the city on the map, I mean, we know that there's only certain words that can be referred to, and people know exactly where a person comes from. Just from listening to the language, you get a sense of the culture of Pretoria. What are you hoping to showcase when it comes to really giving people an idea of the kind of vibe that comes with being in Pretoria?
You know, the aim is to showcase our talent. You know, we've been taking over the music industry for a very long time. People didn't know that most of the artists are coming from Pretoria, like your vocalistic is one of the biggest artists now. We talk about Pitori, so talk about Lamis. You know, those are the artists that are also putting our culture on the map. Why is Pitori one of the biggest languages that is taking over the industry now? You know, so we are trying to expose that. We are saying, let's position our city where it's supposed to be. Remember, we are the capital city of South Africa, so people must know about our culture.
And let's talk about some of the people that you've got in the documentary series. I mean, we know that we saw DJ Lamis there, and we know also that DJ Somebody also comes from Pretoria. What are you hoping to narrate as you showcase these successful artists and they talk about their experiences living and being in Pretoria?
You know, the aim is to narrate the music industry from the 90s up to this day. You know, we've been dominating for quite some time. We know about the rhythmic element. It's also from Pretoria. We know about Black Motion. We know there's Peter Mashata, who is one of the biggest comedians at this moment. So what we are saying, we want people to be able to know our artists, to be able to know that Pretoria is having more talent. We would like to also give thanks to our partners that decided, you know what, guys, it's time to put the artists on the map. It's time to showcase all the talent that is there in our country.
And let's talk a little bit about, you know, some of the opportunities that will come with highlighting and showcasing Pretoria as this cultural hub of activity and language and fashion and music. We know that at the moment South Africa is going through a very difficult time, and the young people more especially are affected by not having jobs and COVID-19 exacerbating the situation. How are you then hoping to use this documentary to provide opportunities to people, young people especially in Pretoria?
You know, the aim is to create a music hub, an entertainment hub, where our young people will be able to get jobs. You know, we'll be doing more gigs, we'll be doing more of live television. So the aim is to make sure that we position this brand of Tsako Pitori to empower everyone that is around the city. So the aim is to create more jobs for our artists as well, to make sure that they have good road managers, they have a PR teams that will be able to position them as the brand the way they have to be. So the aim is to make sure that one artist at least must have 5 people that are working around him or her to make sure that their brand are well positioned.
Take us through the behind the scenes. I mean, how did you go about in selecting some of the artists and the characters that you've got in this documentary series? And, you know, like, what did it take to shoot some of these one-on-ones, piece to cameras?
You know, I would like to give thanks to the artists in Pretoria. Thank you very much. It was very hard. It was difficult for them to come and assist us because I think it's when we had that lockdown, the hard one, where we did not even have a cent, but they managed to come and support us. Thank you to the venues that gave us the platform. We had propaganda that gave us a platform, just Cuban. So just to name a few, would like to give thanks behind the scenes. Thank you to behind the best, one of the best production companies that is shooting this documentary. We came together with them without a budget. They decided, let's do this thing. And wow, we were amazed. First episode, just a trailer, then everybody started liking the documentary. Then we got this deal. So I'd like to give thanks to everyone that participated.
And when it comes to some of the personal stories that you were shooting, I know that, a lot of the artists speak about their highs and lows, and they speak about their journeys to success within the cultural hub of Pretoria. What are some of the highlights that, viewers can sort of take home and, recall as they watch and engage with the content of this documentary?
One of the highlights that the artists are mentioning, the unity in Pretoria. Our artists must learn to work hand in hand. And another thing is, I remember the interview of Silibin. It's a heart-touching interview where he talks about his downfall. He was one of the best DJs from the 90s, but some things happened during his journey where he got involved with the drugs and stuff. So he speaks about that, how he recovered from that. So those are the highlights that are going to teach a lot of people about the industry, that you need to be focused all the time and make sure that you know what you want, you stick to your goal.
And what are the sort of messages that you're hoping will resonate with the viewers when it comes to differentiating the artists? I mean, there's a difference between an artist that comes from Alexandra, for instance, compared to one in Pretoria. Their language is different amongst other elements.
Stay true to your culture. Make sure that you become one of the best and you represent your city, where you are coming from. And make sure that you surround yourself with the right people and you don't lose focus. So that's what we are trying to portray and push in this documentary.
And if you had to encourage people to make sure that they don't miss it, what would you say?
Pitori is one of the best languages in the country. So Reina, as the capital city, we are saying this is a 13-episode documentary that you are not supposed to miss. So what was just Pitori after this documentary and all the talent that is around the city.
And when do we get to view this documentary series?
This documentary will be live from next week on the 22nd of December, 5:30, channel 322. The repeat will be around 9:30 in the evening. So 22nd, it will be one of the biggest days in Pretoria.
And what are your overall long-term plans when it comes to narrating the culture of South Africa? I mean, Pretoria in itself has become a subculture where people know, just from your language, just sometimes from your where you dress, the way you look, that you definitely come from Pretoria. What are some of the long-term plans when it comes to highlighting those different aspects of a vibrant South Africa?
One thing that we want to highlight most of all is our language. We want the language to be known all over South Africa. Because, when you get to other provinces, it becomes difficult when you try to communicate in Pitori. And people always, they show interest in this language. So
Okay, we appear to have lost project coordinator Kenneth Manyemula, speaking there about a new documentary series called Tsako Pitori. Really exciting stuff, really highlighting the social scene, entertainment and music from artists telling their one-on-one stories to camera in that documentary series. Looking forward to seeing it. Now,